Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to wherever you are watching it from. Where I'm watching it from is 6 minutes past 8 at night, and we have got round 11 of 12 in X1 in ExA today, with the top two in the championship split by only 8 points. Jerry Van Bozel on 159 points ahead of Luca on 151 points in the penultimate round of this enthralling season. And what a place to have a one-shot qualifying around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. 27 turns, 11 of them are to the right and 16 of them are to the left. As we are racing 50% compared to the IRL race distance, the race distance today is 104.225 kilometers an hour. Not kilometers an hour, just kilometers. Total 25 laps. It is 6.174 kilometers per lap, and we have got our first car out on the track, and that is Marnik. So as the session goes along, there will be more drive. Obviously, it's one driver at a time, as it is a one-shot qualifying this race. So we're seeing how all the drivers can get on. If they invalidate the lap, then that is that. Yeah, it'll be nice to see who can deliver on a high-pressure lap. The only Kix Albert attending this race today, so he will have the full hopes of Kix Albert to get a decent haul of points in them today. Into one of my favourite sections of the track, into the fast sweeping left hander. Obviously take a lot of side to save, to preserve your tyres, to get as much grip as you can. And it will be Marnik first up to take us away of this one-shot qualifying session, coming up to the final corner now on the track. And we round the final corner at its foot to the floor. Is it? No, it's not. He has boxed. So instead we will have a Red Bull coming out of the pits of Kendon Lutt. And to the mistake, it was Marnik did not follow the plan, as I've been told. So Kendon should be setting our first lap time of this one-shot qualifying session to make our way through the twists and turns of this Arabic track. It's very satisfying when you get it right, but there is no margin for error, as we've seen through the likes of Mick Schumacher in 2022 Q2, with Zhou Guan Yu in FP3 this year. On, I think, going into the right, I think he lost it coming out the left. Who else is there? You've seen Latifi at 27. You've seen Verstappen at turn 27. You know, also having the oversteer. Also the Ferrari of Samuel Barker, out on the track as well. And I'm trying to think. You had De Vries rear lock into turn 1 in 23, obviously because he had the power unit issue and didn't get any running on the softs, so didn't get any chance. So Kendon will be the first to, if he hasn't gone apart from the schedule, he should be the first to set a lap flat out down the main straight. He comes now. And we have got our first lap. Kendon Lutt, what can he do? What will the benchmark time be as he makes his way through turn 1, takes the chicane nicely, through turn 2, and then through the flat out turn 3, and then as he enters the twists and turns of sector 1, through turn 4, flat out through 5, and then into 6, into 7, and then into 8. The number 5 Red Bull flicking his car through these twists and turns, and the sector 1 time will be a 31.631. That is the benchmark sector 1 time into the swinging left-hander of turn 13. It will then be flat out until you have to do a slight brake in turn 16, and then quickly switch to a left in turn 17. The Red Bull is on the limit, as he most likely could be. Flat out now towards turn number 22, and it'll be a fast complex of 22, 23, 24, then flat out through 25, 26. On the limit nicely there, but it's purple in the middle sector. I didn't get to see the middle sector time, but it's flat out through 25, and then through turn 26. It'll be upcoming towards the line of turn 27. The Red Bull driver, what can he do? Will he do a Verstappen of 21? No, he won't. He'll leave some margin to the wall, and the benchmark time in this one-shot qualifying will be a 1:27.027. Next up will be Samuel Barker to set his lap to 32.17. I think that's like half a second off the benchmark already, as now towards the sweeping left, the fast complex, we go with the Scuderia Ferrari as he goes off the track, and that is lap invalidation. That is our first invalidation of this day we have seen from these drivers. Next up should be, I'm going to guess, Jetters in the Williams. It's a 32.623 in the first sector according to the minimap. It is purple in that first sector, sweeping round the left toward now the fast right left complex. Like in Australia, it's got a fast complex like that, but reversed. Flat out now towards turn number 22. Will he make the mistake just like the Scuderia Ferrari did, or will the Williams keep it nicely on the limit? Flat out, Samuel Barker has retired, as he knows that is it, and he will be starting at best 12th. Flat out through 25 and 26, hits the wall, down the straight. Towards turn 27 we go with the Williams. Nicely up to the wall. You can see the lockup just helping him stop. In the game, a lockup doesn't really affect your tyre. Flat out now to the line. Is this going to be... No, it's not. It's going to be not even going to be close. It's a 1.7 seconds off. Next it will be Marnik to come out the final corner. Can Marnik set a good time to cross the line? Is it going to beat the provisional pole? No, it's not. It's going to be 6/10 off the provisional pole time. Then if we look to the minimap, there's one Red Bull there of Lutt who is coming to the pits. The next up should be the Alpine of Jake. It's according to the game, purple in the middle sector through the fast complex now of this Jeddah Corniche circuit, and it'll be flat out towards turn 27 of the racetrack. The French team switching to Mercedes power units for 2026. Mercedes power units, Mercedes gearbox. The French team, as it always, a massive tank slapper out of 27 like Verstappen did. It's to the line. Is it going to beat the provisional pole time? It's going to be provisionally on the front row of 27.5. Next up, who will be next on the road? There's an Aston Martin there down the road, but I think it will be Ben next up to attempt beating the Red Bull in provisional pole. It's 1 minute 1:03 as he crosses the line in the sector 2 timing zone, flat out through 25.26, as he will be powering his way, however fast that Ferrari engine can go, towards 27. Nicely braking, nicely hitting the apex, flat out using using as much track as he possibly can. It will be flat out towards the line. Will this challenge the Red Bull? And it's 0.041 off of the benchmark time. Marnik has not set a representative lap time. Next up will be Yoda, who has invalidated his lap. Crucial for the Red Bull, who will not be able to set a representative time. Unfortunate for Red Bull, but that's what happens in one-shot qualifying. If you don't do anything, you are out of contention for anything. There's the McLaren of Luca, who is on his out lap. Alpine of Jake, who has completed his lap. Next up might be the Mercedes, who know who is on that out lap. The Ferrari, who is set his lap. Next up will be the Aston Martin, the championship leader, may I add, who is on 159 points. Jerry Van Buzel in this twist and turny complex of Jeddah will be looking to extend his championship lead ahead of Luca Rapassa as he makes his way towards the next complex of tight and twisting turns. On the little, so satisfying when they're just able to flick the car through the corners. Excuse me, through 25, then 26. He's got a Mercedes, bit of traffic towards the end of the lap, but the Mercedes might use him for a bit of a tow down the main straight. Jerry round the final corner, used as much of the track as he feels comfortable using. It's flat to the line. Will this beat the provisional 27.0 for pole position? Yes, it will, by 15 milliseconds. It's provisional pole for the championship leader of Yeri. But next up, we've got. Is it going to be Chrissy's next? Or no, it won't. It will be the McLaren of Luca Rapassa, who is, may I add, second in the World Championship. So we've got the 2 championship contenders up next. The 7 reserve drivers have had their runs. This is now onto the full-time drivers as he makes his way flat out through 25 and 26. It will be upcoming towards turn 27. Can Luca Rapassa surpass his championship rival and take provisional pole here in Jeddah this evening? It's flat to the line. Can he light up the Arabic track to take provisional pole? No, he won't. It will only be provisionally 4th on the road. Next up, it will be the Mercedes of Chryses. I've probably butchered that name, and I do apologise if I have, but I'll just call him that. We'll call him Chryses. Chryses through the hard complex, through flat out through 24, then to 25, and then who have the Aston Martin of Tim Todd Nemo, I'm going to presume, who is just starting his lap now. Maybe the Mercedes can get a distant tow from the Aston Martin driver as it's flat out towards the line. Can this be the provisional pole time? It's not going to be close. It's going to be a 27.7 dead. And I find those times quite satisfying, if I'm not wrong. Next up will be the second Mercedes of Oleski Covero, who, may I add, is his 3rd season in EXA. He is a world champion, but he has never won a race here in X1 before. Can this be his first ever race win this evening? It's flat out through 25 and 26. Towards turn 27 we go with the other silver arrow as he comes up towards the line. Can he challenge Jerry or Kendon for the front row? He's got to get at least into the 26s to cross the line, and it's going to be provisionally P4. Usurps Luca, but it will not be enough. Next up will be the who is it? Next up will be Tim Todd. I'm just going to call him Tim. I'm so bad with names. Next up will be Tim. So 1 minute 152. I think he invalidates. And Tim was looking for a good lap, and he has seen his lap out of the window. It's all gone. That is it for Tim in this one-shot qualifying. Next up on the road, it's going to be the Williams of Gabor, who, gone to the time page, has set the fastest middle section. It was a 31.7, flat out now until the flick of the wheel right and left. Luca has retired, obviously, because he has done his one run. Look at the grip that these cars have. Look at the downforce these cars have. Just able to flick the wheel. Now, flat out towards turn 22. Flick it through 22. It's purple according to the game. Nicely on the limit there. Flat out through 24 and then into 25. Then into 26. The Haas won't be in his way as you go flat through 26. Can the Williams take provisional pole for the Saudi Arabian race here in X1 this evening? It's a very good final corner, and it's going to power. Gabor will power himself to the line to take provisionally P5 on the road. Next up will be Casper in the Visa Cash Up car. The V-Cub will be looking to maybe challenge the top 10, maybe top 5, or can he do what a lot of people haven't been able to do since Yeri took provisional pole and challenge the top step of qualifying? So around the final corner we go now. Can Casper take away provisional pole from Yeri? Flat to the line to go P6. That is P6 for V-Carb. Good effort from that. Good effort from them. Tim obviously has not had a good lap. Next up will be Thomas Lang in the Haas car. the American-based team will be looking as he has a massive swab there and into the wall and out of the session. And that's what I say. It's a very high risk but very dangerous track. If you just go over the limit that much, you can crash out and ruin your chances. He will be last, dead last on the grid for the race. Who will be next? I think it'll be Techubi for McLaren. To the end of the first sector to 31.8 in that first sector. I'm just trying to see if I make sure I'm not missing anyone out. Anton's on the outlap, Jacob's on the outlap. So yeah, we have only got 3 drivers left to set laps. First it will be Techubi, and then it should be Jacob, and then it will be Anton in the V-Carb. 3 runs to go of this short qualifying session. Who can take the crown in Saudi Arabia this evening? Flat out towards turn 22. Swing it left. Then flat out through 24, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26 towards the hairpin of turn 27. Can Techubi in the McLaren? Can he go ahead of Luca? Can he go ahead of Yeri? Can he go ahead of the whole field to take provisional pole, using as much track as he feels comfortable with? Towards the line we go with the McLaren, and he's going to take provisionally P6. Next up will be Jacob for the Haas team. What can Jacob do as he comes up towards the end of the middle sector line? Will this be purple in that middle sector? This looks very competitive from the timing page. Make sure, look how close he is to that white line, using all the track he possibly can. It will be flat out now towards turn 27. What can he do to take? Can he take away? Can the Haas team take away the championship leader's pole position? Jerry has been on a mission this season to take the championship, but can Jacob maybe make it a little bit harder to win this race? And he crosses the line and goes provisionally P7. So the final run left is Anton in the Visa Cash Up car. It's a 32.0. It doesn't look the most competitive first sector time as he flicks the wheel right and then left, as he saw the car get unsettled a little bit as he hit the apex, as he now makes his way flat out through this probably easiest section of the racetrack towards the flick of the wheel of turn 22, then flat through 23, like all the drivers have, close to the white line, through turn 24, 25, 26. We might get a distant tow by the McLaren as we make our way towards turn 27. The McLaren gets out of the way, so there'll be no advantage from the tows as Anton round the final corner. He's the final man to set a time. What can Anton do? There's been 4 drivers who haven't set time. Tim, Yavana, Barker and Thomas to cross the line. It's going to be P13 on the grid for Anton. That is qualifying over. Jerry, the championship leader, is on pole position for this race. Then Camden Lutt. Good news for Jerry. He's on pole. His nearest rival in the championship, Luca, is down in P9. 15 milliseconds split the top 2. And just around half a tenth split the top 3. Such a close qualifying this evening in ExA X1. And that is qualifying done. It's Yeri on pole position. Can my game load, please? There we go. Oh, okay. I don't even get to talk you through the grid. But as the main headline is out of qualifying, the championship leader is on pole position. I'll run you through some minor details. This is round 11 of round 12. The top 2 in the championship, Yeri and Luca, are split by 8 points. 159 points for Yeri, 151 for Luca. We've got 27 turns, 11 to the right, 16 to the left. 104.225 kilometres race distance, 25 laps, 6.174 kilometres per lap. Alexei Covero is a world champion, but has never won a race. Could he win his first race this season? We have got a $300 prize pool spread across all the tiers for winning the championship. Some of these drivers in this tier are close to esports level. A league formerly known as Choco League, which is now known as Creator Series, was actually formed around here. Luca and Jerry are PSGL PSF1 World Champions. Tope and Ben are PSGL F2 World Champions. Who's going to take the crown in this Arabic night in Saudi Arabia this afternoon? In the ExA, the top 12 get points as we have 5 lights ahead of the drivers. It's all eyes to the light and it's foot to the floor as we go racing in Saudi Arabia, and it seems to be a good start from the front two. He's making our way towards turn number 1. The Rebel has got the inside line. Kendon Nutt on the inside will switch to the outside. Yeri is going to try and keep the move, but through goes Ben Malples in the Scuderia Ferrari to take the lead of the race towards the twist and turns of Sex 1. There's the other Ferrari who is spun behind Samuel Barker. One Ferrari leads, one Ferrari practically out of the race. Ben leads from Yeri, from Kendon Aleski in. That is your top 5, and then technically the McLaren has made up a place. What a start from the Ferrari, gaining 2 places. Javoda and Jettas fighting away at the back of the pack, but it's an outstanding start for Ferrari. And we see Gabor and Luca squabbling away. Luca has had a good start. He's gone from 9th to 2nd on this opening phase of this race. The Pete Man, 2nd in the World Championship, has made up some decent starts. The Haas has a massive tank slapper, Jacob there, and that is going to be another place gained for the McLaren driver, making our way towards turn number 22 of the track. And it's a good start for the championship leader. Not a good start for the championship leader, sorry. A good start for the man 2nd place in the World Championship. Flat out through 25-26 towards turn 27 we go with all the drivers. It's been a good start for Ben Marples. It's not been a good start for Samuel Barker. One Ferrari excelling, one Ferrari decelling. Flat out as we see the Mercedes and the Red Bull Alexei, who never won in his EXA career, alongside the man who started P2 on the grid. Alexei and Kendon wheel to wheel down the main straight. Can Alexei make the place up on Kendon, sorry. It will be the outside now as we make our way through turn 3, and Samuel Barker has retired from this race. We see the 2 McLarens instantly swapping positions, and that's Luca up into P5. It's a great start, first lap for him. And breathe. It's phenomenal. It looked like Jerry and Kendon on the first lap just took themselves wide, and that allowed Ben just to pull away. There's your race strategy. There's your possible strategy. The 2 stops, soft, hard, and then the 1 stop with obviously medium, hard, or hard, medium. And then we can see Tim pulling ahead of both of V-Cubs there as they're going wheel to wheel towards this twisty section, and he has got ahead. No, he hasn't. He's got ahead of one of the V-Cubs. He hasn't got ahead of another, and it's 3 seconds for Thomas Lang already as Luca is going for another pass. Luca up into 4th place in this race, and next up will be the Red Bull of Kendon for the McLaren driver. To get a bit out of shape, Luca making our way down the back straight towards turn number 27. Alexei will be thinking of making a move. He's going to go alongside P2 in the championship. Can he make the move around the outside? He's going to have to get better traction almost into the wall. The pair of them go, but it's good traction from Luca, and Tektovi is now back alongside the McLaren with the slipstream helping the Mercedes pull back ahead. And it is Alexei keeping third. And down the inside goes Luca. Late braking. What a move by the McLaren driver. And who's next up? It's his championship rival next up on the field. Luca is a man on a mission right now. Yellow flags in sector 1. I can't see what for. I think I might just get the game graphic being having a little bit of a bite. Javoda down in P16 has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits on that 3. That's going to hurt him if he is able to fight his way through the field and get up to a competitive position. But as we're making our way through the sweeping left-hander, where, if you remember, Lance Stroll on lap 1 of 2023 made a phenomenal move around the outside of Carlos Sainz on the opening lap. Lance Stroll on the outside of Sainz was phenomenal. But this time, it's a Ferrari who leads, and Aston Martin in 2nd place. Down the straight we go. Here are the top 2 in the championship. Luca looking to cut that 8-point gap. Hope maybe potentially down to nil. Potentially to overtake Yeri to give himself the advantage in into the final round. Flat out, down the straight we go. Thomas Lang has been disconnected from the session. As to the outside, as they almost touch. Good reaction from Luca to step out of it. Step out of the throttle as he gets good traction out the corner, and he's alongside his rival. And Ben Marples instantly giving him the toe. And Ben Marples has given him the toe. Yeri's now the third. Luca from 9th into the lead of the race. What an opening 3 laps, as we start lap 4. What an opening 3 and a bit laps from Luca Rapassa. He has taken the lead into turn 1 of lap 4. He's gone from 9th to 1st within not too long of the race. It's so fascinating when you can see all the drivers just follow so close. It reminds you of esports. The drivers have got the knowledge of esports drivers, as Javoda gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. We'll go to... Oh, sorry, excuse that. If we go to penalties, you can see already 2 drivers on penalties. Javoda, I think his race is well and truly done now. There's your tyre strategies. You've got a total of 7 drivers on the hards. There was 8 drivers actually before... Sorry, no, there were 7 drivers. So obviously Samuel's AI, as he retired, it changed to the hard tyre. So 7 drivers started on the hards. 11 of them started on the mediums. But as we make our way down the straight towards turn 27, is Ben Marples poised to retake the lead of this Saudi Arabian race in X1. To the inside he goes. To the lead of the race he goes once more on the Ferrari, who went from 3rd to 1st in the opening 3 corners, has retaken the lead. And Alexei and Techabi are going wheel to wheel through 27, and he is back down into 6th. As we see the race lead once again swapping around, and we can watch now once again. We can watch this battle between the Mercedes and the McLaren going wheel to wheel through turn 1, which will quickly swoop to the right, and it will be now Gabor poised to pounce on the McLaren, as well as the Haas. Jacob and Gabor ahead of Techabi in the McLaren, who ideally want to be higher up there to help his teammate out. Will not be there. There's yellow flag at the back, and Maverick is out of the race, having a crash at turn number 4. Unfortunate for the Kicksabel driver, he is out of the race. No safety car. But as we continue racing, which I'm sure all the viewers will be happy to see, making our way through the sweeping left hand, and now towards the flick of the right and left. 2 DNFs so far within these opening 5 laps. Marnik having a crash in turn 4 of lap 5, and Samuel Barker, who had a spin on the opening lap of turn 2, retired at the pit lane as he did not have faith in himself to recover back to the pack. Thomas Lang, 14 and a half seconds off the field. 15 now. Was he the one that had the crash? He is ghosted. Oh, never mind. He disconnected. My apologies. I completely forgot about that. Down the straight we go. Lovely helicopter can. To the inside goes Ben Marple. Will Jerry think about a move on his championship rival? Will he just beat Stay and keep that battery pack all in good condition? As we now go down the main straight to start lap 6 of 25. Ben Marples leads this race from Luca, but Luca once again, is he going to sit behind him? Is Yeri going to maybe make a move? Down the inside maybe goes Luca to the lock up there, and look how close. Look, the top 4 nose to tail in Saudi Arabia. The 4 drivers on hard tyres will be very happy to stay with these mediums, as they would have the superior grip in these early phases. But as the medium stint goes on, they will begin to lose. The hard tyres will begin to have a better performance compared to the medium tyres. So Jerry is in a very good position here, not under pressure from behind. He could just chill out. He could just chill with the 2 guys in front, and if he ever needs to, if Marples backs Luca up a bit, he can maybe, as he had a little bit of a wobble there, out of the left, and Jerry will now be just thinking, I might need to use a bit of my battery to close up closer to Luca. As you can see on the dashboard of his car, use a little bit of it just to make sure he can close in a little bit more. Down the back straight we go with Luca and Marples towards 22, and Ben went a little bit wide there, and Luca will now most likely guarantee himself to retake the lead of this race down the straight, and it's Luca back into the lead of this race. We can see Chris and Jake going wheel to wheel towards turn 27. Little bit of contact there between Jake and Chris, but Jake is up into, or staying ahead of Chris into 9th place. Kendon's just being a bit chill right now. He started P2 and he's just staying nice and tucked up in the rear wing of the Aston Martin. And there's all sorts of confusion going on. There's yellow flags again for the Aston Martin of Tim, who is stationary. Might have had a collision there with someone. He's got no end plates on either side of his wing. I think Tim must have had a lag, because that looked like a massive lag there. And what's unfortunate now, that collision has split the field up. Chris has got to do all he can to get back into the DRS of that eight car train for the lead. Otherwise, he's just going to keep getting further and further away unless he attempts an undercut to gain all the time through the S's of Sector 1. And then he will also always lose time on the straight. No DRS for Chris. He will not be able to challenge. We won't be able to challenge the top 8 because they're just going to keep getting further and further away. Down the straight we go. On board of the rear side of Luca's car. To the inside goes Ben Marples, and once again Ben Marples retakes the lead of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Lap 7 of 25, and there has been at least a change in lead every single lap. Yeri is thinking maybe of an attack soon. Yeri, is he going to try and follow his championship rival through, or is he just going to lift off and play smart? As I think the Ferrari lifted off there to make sure he wouldn't go alongside the McLaren as he makes his way through turns 1, 2, and 3 towards the beginning of the twists and turns of Sector 1 through turn 4, 5, and 6, and then stay left and then flick the wheel right. 3 seconds for Jake, who is down in P11 in the Alpine. And again, you saw Yeri have a little bit of a wobble there, and now maybe Kendon is thinking, I want to get ahead here. I seem to be making less mistakes. I seem to be able to keep it up better. But the other thing was a train. If you're in a train, you're going to be preserving your tyres a lot more. As look, Kendon is getting so close to that Aston Martin. He might think of a move, a challenge towards turn 22 or turn 27, or potentially wait till turn number 1. Down the back straight we go with the Red Bull driver, and he's potentially thinking of a move to get into the lead, or not into the lead, into the podium places of this race. And maybe if he can get Yeri, think about taking the lead of the race using his battery strategically. On board with the Ferrari down the straight towards flat out through 26 towards turn number 27, and Ben Marples once again takes the lead, and down the inside goes Jerry, the top 2 in the championship, on wheel to wheel through turn 27. Is there going to be a collision? And we go down the straight. Yeri is just pulling in front. Yeri is up in the second place. The pole position man back up in the second. And while we go 3 wide, down the inside goes Luca, running outside goes Yeri. Yeri takes the lead of the race. As Chris has retired in the pit lane. He is retired from this race after making that early pit stop. Anton, Jessers, Javoda all into the pit lane. Jerry on the hard tyres has taken the lead of the race. And as I was saying, he can use that battery strategically. As they maybe go wheel to wheel through the twist and turns to Sector 1. And we're making our way down the straight towards the sweeping left-hander. To begin Sector 2, is he poised to attack? Is Ben Marples looking round the outside? Oh, is he going to do what Lance Stroll did to Carlos Sainz in 23? No, he's not. He's going to stay tucked up behind. And Ben Marples is going to stay in third. But maybe Kendon is maybe poised to pounce down these next 2 straights. Down at this back straight we go towards turn number 22. And the Red Bull will be thinking, I'm getting frustrated here. I would want to get ahead and maybe challenge to get alongside my fellow compatriot on the hard tyres and get up there with Jerry. But folks, forget challenges for P3. We've got the top 2 in the championship, 1 and 2 right now, as Luca will be going down the straight towards 2027. Jerry defends. Running outside, maybe try Jerry. Maybe right outside. And there's contact, and the Red Bull of Kendon has been spun after a collision with Ben Marples. I didn't quite see what happened, but I can only presume as I saw him pull out to the inside. The Red Bull of Kendon Lutt has been spun round, and Luca takes the lead of the race. And Gabor now trying to make a move on the Ferraris. The McLaren of Teshubi goes wide, and that's going to leave him in the Haas wheel to wheel through turn number 3 towards turn number 4. And Jacob Strobe is up in the 6th place, and the train is starting to get disassembled now. Casper has dropped out of it. Kendon Lutt having that collision with, I can only presume, Ben Marples. That's going to put Kendon Lowe with a lot of work to do now. 2.9 seconds behind Techubi in P7. Casper will be hoping to use battery to get back into that train. The Visa Cash Out Rebel Racing driver will be hoping to not lose DRS, as he is the lead car of the Red Bull family. 4 DNFs so far. Chris, Yavoda, Marnik and Samuel Barker are your 4 DNFs so far on lap 10 of 25. Not even half race distance, and we had action packed so far. Tim is into the pit lane for a change of tyre, which I can only guess is onto another set of mediums, may I stand corrected. I was about to say onto a set of hard tyres to go to the end, but he's gone for another set of mediums, so he's committed to a 2-stop race. Down the straight we go, flat through 25 is Yeri. Now maybe going to just sit behind Yuka. He's going to sit behind his championship rival, making their way towards turn number 27. Luca and Yeri. Down the inside goes Yeri, as Luca plays maybe a smart game, but it's not really worked. Luca's dropped down to 3rd. Ben Marples now will be thinking, I've just been gifted 2nd place. Let me get back and up into the lead of the race. On board with the Luca. Are we going 3 wide into turn number 1? No, we are not. Yeri just last minute covers that off, as maybe it's the old switcheroo, as there's a little bit of a wheel tap. Bomb Luca onto Ben Marples' rear right tyre, and they're going to go wheel into the twist in turn. Luca will come out in 2nd place. Ben down to 3rd. Yeri stays in the lead of the race after DRS games from Luca. So the DRS games that for the first time of asking have not worked. Maybe they can come into hand later on in the race. To the end of sector 1 we go. I've just realised, let me turn on lap data so you can see the laps. Is there anything else we want to turn on? No, there's not at the minute. But I think Alexi got a little bit out of shape there on the exit of the left, then to flick it through right, left. Obviously you won't be able to flick it as much as you can in qualifying, because obviously you have to put your grip on low fuel runs on the soft tyres. But down the straight we go. It's DRS for Luca. Down the straight. Will he consider making a move on Jerry? No, he's just going to bump draft him like he would in NASCAR, and just make sure, unless he went wide, and that is the Williams of Jetters off, who has had I'm going to guess a little spin. Has he had a collision with the wall? He's gone off track again. More of back to the front 2. Down the inside goes Alexi, potentially may attack the Ferrari's rear end. He looked like he was drifting at the final corner. Tim has got a 3-second time penalty for track limit. Down the straight we go. You can just see ahead of these lot. Luca retakes the lead. Down the inside of Ferrari goes. A little bit of a rear end from the Mercedes, as the Williams maybe trying around the outside of the Mercedes. We're making our way through turn 3 towards turn number 4. There is nothing doing there. Maybe a question of moving on the braking from Yeri. Maybe a question of Luca coming back across him, surprising him a bit. The other flag in sector 3 for the Visa cash out of Anton, who has had a spin, and there is some debris on the racing line out of turn 27. But he's I'm going to presume he's going to get back into the pits and most likely just retire from this race, or just hope for a safety car and just continue on going to get the laps in. In comes the Williams of Jetters as well, who had that excursion of a spin, I think, out of the twist and turns sector 1. Jetters has retired, Anton has not. Down the back straight we go towards turn number 22. On board, watching the rear wing of Luca. Luca is keeping the pack well and truly compacted of the top 8. Casper, as I was saying, with 1.1 outside of the DRS window earlier, has got himself back into the DRS. On board with the Aston Martin driver. He's just stayed down. Standing around the outside goes Alexi in the Mercedes. He's going to get the slipstream. Ben Marples will not be able to get the slipstream, but the McLaren has pulled out to give him one. Alexi down the main straight. Can he make maybe 1, maybe 2 overtakes? Yeri retakes the lead. Running outside goes to Mercedes. And Alexi on the hard tyres, it's up into 3rd place in this race. The hard tyres becoming good now for these drivers. As Techubi has got ahead of Casper in the pit lane. Casper going for the undercut to maybe pick him up a few places. He was P8 in this train, don't forget. Maybe him, Techubi, and maybe himself, Jacob and Techubi, are thinking of getting an undercut going to maybe get ahead of these guys. Thomas Lang's lap car has been overtaken from this whole train. And as we make our way through the heart of Sector 2, as the number 21 Aston Martin driver, the championship leader, ahead of his rival, Luca, will be hoping that with this undercut, he can pull well over a second when he does eventually pit, if he even pits before these hard tyres, because he seems to be going quite strong. And look at that nose to tail between the top 5. Gabor, Ben, Alexei, Luca and Yeri, as rounding outside goes Gabor, and as well lining outside goes Luca, and maybe down the inside goes Alexei, the Mercedes driver. Can he get up into second place? He's going to be wheel to wheel with the championship leader. The championship leader has dropped down to third. Into the pit lane comes Luca, who I can only guess for the hard tyres. Down the main straight we go. A little bit of weaving from the Aston Martin driver as Alexei, who has never won before, claims the lead of this race. Luca and Ben into the pit lane for the hard tyres. Yeri, Gabor and Alexei continue to lead this race, as does Kendon on the hard card, as Gabor, who was in the heart of the train, is now on the 3 second. That's going to ruin his chances. And Alexei seems to be backing up Jerry. And you saw he had a little bit of a moment there, which you could ask was Ben Marple's now wheel to wheel with Techebi, and Jacob has got the undercut on Ben Marples, and he's now just got to make sure he can try and stay with Luca. That'll be crucial for his race if he can stay with Luca in this train. That 3 seconds really going to hurt Gabor. Gabor in the Williams was looking in a very good position. The other Aston Martin of Tim, who has been lapped, may I add on, is just now in the thick of this top 3 train. Through turn 22, through turn 23, 24, and is the Williams thinking of making a move on the Aston Martin? Is the Aston Martin thinking of making a move on the Mercedes? To the inside goes Yeri, to the lead of the race once again goes Yeri, and maybe Gabor will want to follow him through. Gabor on the inside of the Mercedes. Alexei has dropped down to P3 in this race. Is any of the top 3 going to come into the pit lane to cover off the undercut? In comes Yeri, Gabor, Alexei, stay out. Yeri obviously panicked by the undercut attempt, and I think it's going to work, you know. Through turn 27, these lot come. And Luca, I think he's surely going to take the lead of this race. Or take the provisional lead of this race. Down the main straight, they all go. And wheel to wheel, Ben Marples and Luca, and yes, they will. So Yeri, when he come out on the exit, look how much he is on the rear of the train, which is good for him. He will not be losing DRS, which is very good for him. But he's got to hope Casper doesn't lose it. So your provisional oh my god, that gave me a little heart skip for a minute. Thomas Lang's AI car. So your provisional top 5, Ben Marples will be P1, Luca will be P2, Techebi will now be provisionally on the podium. That's crucial that McLaren have got 2 drivers up there, as Casper to the inside of Jacob. Jacob, who I think was provisionally on net P3 in this race, is now, I think, net P5. As they're going wheel to wheel towards the flicks, as Casper has to sit up behind Jacob once more. And Jacob is provisionally P4. As I was saying, Ben Marples will be provisionally P1. Then Luca provisional P2. Then Techebi P3. Jacob P4. Jerry, who's now ahead of Casper, will be now P5. And then he will now be hunting down the McLaren. He will now be hunting down Jacob in the Haas, and then he'll have the challenge of facing the 2 McLarens as well as the Scuderia Ferrari of Ben Marples, and he is now poising his pounce on the Haas, and that is 2 cars down, 3 to go. So far, Tim has retired in the pit lane. The pit lane has now got some action. There's Gabor, Alexei and Kendon all in the pit lane. Alexei will be the lead of this trio in the pits, but Ben Marples, I'm about to say Ben Marples lead, but Luca on the inside has retaken the lead of this race, and that will be Luca from Marples, from Techebi, then Jerry, then Jacob, then Alexei, who is very good, got the youngest tyres of the top 7, and he is ahead of Casper, and he is in a very good position. Jerry, only 1 car splits the pair of them, so can Alexei, as I've been saying, there's both the Haas and the Aston Martin make the same mistake. Phenomenal anticipation from the Mercedes driver as he has swung his way round the outside. It booted me out of my Xbox party, so I apologise if the drivers heard me in voice chat. I'm going to hope they didn't. But Alexei is up into fifth, sorry. My apologies. Up into P5. Pit stops complete. It is now pure pace on laps to the end. Lap 16 to 25. We are over half race distance, and it's Ben Marples who leads ahead of the two McLarens. I think Jerry. Did he have a contact? Did he have a collision there with Alexei? He was ghosted. I thought he disconnected, but I think he might have had a little bit of a collision with either Jacob or Alexei as he makes his way down the straight. No battery for Jerry. Alexei's poised to pounce, and he is now the leader of the medium runners. Alexei is up into 4th, and Ben Marples has held off Luca and Techeby. Fascinating stuff, as Jerry, I want to see a replay of that later on, had a collision. I'm going to presume had a collision, as Gabor, may I also add now, is ahead of Jacob. Casper down to 8th. Kendon Lutt, who was in the top 9 train for quite a while in this race, is I think now got to rely on his medium tyres grip to catch back up to the train. This is what I find satisfying about these races. Nose to tail, most of the field is. Thomas Lang obviously has been disconnected since the opening lap of this race, I believe. Condolences for him. He's had no luck. Marnik, who had a crash on lap 5, lap 4 or 5 at turn 4, has also just left the session. So no luck really for the drivers who have retired so far, as Luca takes the lead, and Alexei on the mediums is he up in the 3rd? Yes, he is up in the 3rd. Techeby wanted to try and fight it, but the medium tired vastly superior compared to these drivers, that he sets the fastest lap of this race. Not a lot of battery left if you look at his steering wheel dashboard, but he's got the superior grip, so he should be able to get the better traction on the exit of the corners to get that additional extra straight line speed as we're making our way towards turn number 4 to start the twists and turns of sector 1. And Alexei is in prime position to win this race with superior grip, youngest tyres. What can he do in this race? As we finish sector 1 of lap 18, not long to go now. We're getting down to the sharp point of this race, and you can't predict who's going to win. Can Alexei, the reigning world champion, can he take his first ever win in X1 in EXA? It's his 3rd season in the league, and he has never won, although he has claimed a world championship. This will be a special night if he can win it. As it stands, it's looking very good for the championship. Luca, P1, Jerry down in P5, but I think maybe eyeing a move on Techeby. The position, as it stands, down the inside. Are we 3 abreast? Yes, we are. And as I said, that was looking good for Luca. Jerry is up in the 2nd place. What a move! Jerry, he was into the lead. He's now down to 5th. As Ben Marples is into the lead, and Alexei is trying to make the move on Luca, and flat out through turn 3, it's Alexei and the top 2. Alexei and Luca wheel to wheel into the twist and turn to sector 1. Wide goes Ben Marples. Round the outside goes Ben Marples. With a switch to the inside. With a switch to the outside. Now the inside. Luca is into the lead of this race. Jerry, who in a phenomenal 4-car overtake for the lead, went from 5th to 1st, back down to 5th. Down the inside goes Ben Marples to retake the lead of the race. And now on the inside, can Alexei maybe make the move on the McLaren driver as we're making our way towards the flick of the wheel right and left. And Alexei is just going to have to sit there and wait for his opportunity to go. So if we're focusing on there we go, Alexei on the inside. Can he make the move? Can he take the lead? down the inside. He's up in the second place, is he? Alexi is doing an outstanding job. If we look at the points, P3 gets 18, P5 gets 12. The gap in the championship will be 2 points, and we're going 3 wide toward turn 27. Alexi running outside of Luca. Gabor down the inside of Ben Marple. Jerry's just going to have to sit there and watch as we're making our way down the main straight to start lap 20. We're 3 abreast down the main straight. Ben Marple takes the lead. Luca is fighting now to stay in the second, but obviously Gabor has got that 3 second, which will, as I said earlier, will hurt his race. And now Jerry maybe trying to think of a move, and Alexi is actually down the 4th now, as he was in prime position to take the lead of the race. So much action. What a race this has been so far. Lap 20 and 25, 6 laps to go. And the top 2 in the championship have one car in between as Gabor takes the lead of the race with the 3 second. I doubt it will be the win with the penalty, but he could take the pride of crossing the line first on the track. As we flick the wheel right for the 20th time in this race, it's Gabor that leads from Ben, then Luca, then Alexi, then Yeri. That's your top 5. Alexi will be a bit frustrated that he's dropped down to 4th out of everything that had just been going on, but he's still got the youngest tyres off the top 8, which it is now. He's got the youngest tyres, also along with Gabor. So Gabor's got to use the age difference to help himself pull away in this race. Maybe down the inside, Luca trying to defend. Alexi finds just a car's width gap. And can he make it move? He can't make the move stick. But now, down the main straight, he's just got better acceleration. Down the main straight we go. To the outside goes Luca. He's going to have to lift off. He's going to try and force it 3 wide. To the outside, a little bit of a tap on the rear. Luca running outside of Gabor. Can Alexi now get better traction on the exit of the corner? He's going to have to sit and tucked up behind. Luca and Gabor going wheel to wheel, but Gabor is superior as Luca decides to think of the championship and to just back out. If Luca was to finish second and Jerry 4th, if Luca was second and Jerry 5th as they finish the race, they would be level pegging going into the season finale, which would be unbelievable. 5 laps to go in Saudi Arabia. It has been an unbelievable race so far. We've had change of lead after change of lead after change of lead. Pit stops, collisions, crashes. It's had the lot, you name it. The only thing that there hasn't been is safety cars, virtual safety cars, red flag, which is good because we want to see all this race in action in ExA X1. Through turn 22, 23, and then turn 24, we go with Luca now. Down the straight is Alexi thinking of a move. Alexi will be thinking, I want to be controlling the pace of this pack, as once again running outside tries Alexi. Down the inside goes Gabor to try. Hey, he's got the DRS. I think it's Gabor's just got the DRS. Tucked up in the slipstream goes Alexi now. He pulls out to the outside once again, and he's trying to retake 3rd place once again. But once again, is he going to stay tucked up behind? Down the inside goes Luca of the Williams. What a late braking by Luca. He is back up into 2nd place. On the road, I say on the road, will be P2 if it finishes like this. Gabor, unfortunately, I think he will be dropping down to P9 as it stands. Lap 22 and 25. Anton has got a 3 second down in P11 for the V-Carb team. 35 seconds off the points. He will not be getting any points soon. As Kendon, who was well and truly out of it a while ago, is fighting Chechaby for net P5 after Gabor's penalty applies. Jake has got another 3 seconds. I think that's like 9 seconds in now. As Kendon is ahead of Chechaby, and he is on a redemption drive on the medium tyres. He's got the youngest tyres along with Gabor and Alexi in this race. I apologise if I am butchering anyone's names, but I'm just hoping that. But my main focus is on the race. Luca, once again, pulls out to the outside to overtake Ben Marples. Gabor is maybe going to look down the inside. To the outside, it will switch now. Round the outside tries Gabor of the Scarlet Ferrari. On the traction now. Good exit from Gabor. And we're making our way down the main straight. and pulls out. Alexei is going for the move on the third to last lap. Luca knows Alexei is the biggest threat as he instantly went to defend. Luca instantly went to defend Alexei's line. Such smart thinking from Luca. That's why he's in the fight for a world championship. And the Ferrari of Ben Marples has been spun round. Leading for practically the whole race. He's been spun round by who I could only guess was Gabor. Unfortunate as he's crashed out. That is Ben Marple. It's a double DNF for the Scuderia. And my apology, I've just only noticed Jerry down to 6th, fighting the Red Bull for P5. This is the championship pendulum is swinging right now in this Saudi Arabian race of X1. This is unbelievable. Down at the back straight we go for the third to last time in Saudi Arabia. It's Gabor who leads from Luca, then Alexei, then Jacob, then Kenan, then Jerry, then Tetraby, then Casper, then Jay. Remember what I said about Anton not getting a point? He's now going to be getting a point for VCARB. VCARB will be in the double point. Will be having double points. Or was it the top? Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I forgot. It's the top 12 score points. So he was getting points. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the F1 point scoring. My apologies. But yeah, he will be upgrading the amount of points he gets now. Instead of just getting the, I think, 2 points, he will now be getting 3 points for P10. Obviously, Jerry, who got pole position, will get that additional point. So going into the race after qualifying, the gap has actually been 9 points. So if we conclude what is a Tetraby is out in the race as well. The McLaren's out as well. Has he had a collision maybe with Casper? Collisions happening here, there and everywhere. But close, phenomenal racing is happening here, there and everywhere. Fastest lap as well will also be a bonus point. As we go to detail, we'll have a look. I think just at the fastest lap. That'll be going to Alexei right now. So that will not change the championship. Down the back, sorry, not the back stretch, sorry. Towards the flick of the right and left of the steering wheel. Gabor leads from Luca. The top 6 now in a train. The train has slowly been getting disassembled as the race has been going on, as more risks have been getting taken. As it stands, Luca will be picking up 20 points. Jerry will be picking up 6 points. So Jerry will be picking up 10 points. As it stands at the moment, so you know, Luca will be also Luca should be taking the win. I think. Oh, a little bit of a drift there from Gabor, but after the pens, I think Luca should be getting the win, and then Jerry will be getting P5. So Luca should be taking the championship lead, and we're going 3 wide down the main straight on the final lap of this race, and there's more collision than the Haas. Tried to make it 3 wide, and it's off. Off goes Jacob. Alexei, is he poised? He's up in a second, and the dream for Alexei could well and truly be happening to keep within DRS. With Luca, keep the battery charged, deploy all we can to the final straights. This could be amazing. Alexei could be helping out Jerry so much, and this could be taking points off Luca through the sweeping left. And he's trying DRS gears. We're 3 wide through the left. Alexei takes the lead. Oh my god, my voice is going. Alexei takes the lead of the race as Jerry is up in the third, and that's now Gabor spun round. Carnage happening in the final lap of this race. Jerry, did he have a collision with Gabor? Down the straight we go. It's Alexei who leads from Luca then Jerry. That's your top 3. Is it going to be a first win for Alexei? Will the championship leader take all 25 points? Or would it be Luca taking the victory? Down the straight we go. It's for the final time. To the inside goes Luca to take the lead of the race. Is Jerry going down the inside? Yes, he is. Around the outside goes Jerry. Alexei, it's a drag to the line. But it's in Saudi Arabia. It's Luca that wins out by 84 milliseconds. Alexei takes second, 84 milliseconds from his first ever win. Jerry will have to settle for third as that championship gap now closes up to only 2 points towards the season finale. Red Bull pick up 15 points for P4. Casper will get 5th for VCARB. Then it's Haas and Jacob in 6th. Then Gabor in 7th. Jake 8th. Anton 9th. And then Thomas Lang. I don't know if it counts if he finishes, but if it does count, he will be picking up 2 points for Haas. What a race by the top. What a race by the drivers this afternoon, this evening. Might I state, 6 minutes past 9 at night. What a race we have just had. 8 a 10th and a half split the top 3. I cannot what a race. And the championship is now split by only 2 points. Unbelievable from these guys. As we now see the McLaren driver, the title challenger compared to Jerry, takes the top step of the podium. The Dutchman is ahead of the Flying Finn and the other Dutchman. It's 2 Dutch drivers fighting out for the whole prize. But it is the McLaren's day. Jerry will still be leading the championship into the finale, but the gap will be cut down. The gap is now down to 2 points between the top 2. That is round 11 of 12 complete. What a race we have had. Luca wins ahead of Alexi, and then comes Jerry, Kendon, Casper, Jacob, Gabor, Jake, Anton, Techebi, then Thomas Lang. There you finish. I think Techebi actually did DNF, but because Thomas was a lap down, wasn't able to pass the retired car of the McLaren. So, as I've stated many times already, 2 points between the top 2 going into the season finale. Alexi will get the bonus point for the fastest lap. Jerry will get the bonus point for the pole position. What a race I have witnessed. What a race you lot have witnessed. Thank you all for joining in. Just adios. Yeah, I'll say it one more time. Thank you all for joining in. I hope I'll be commentating this again next week. But for myself, from the ExA Racing League, that's myself, Rio, signing off. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you all next week. Adios.